What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapashame, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you so much for stopping by on this lovely, still extremely toasty Wednesday evening. Yes, we did reach 112 today, so it's still burning over here. It is August, and we're reaching late August. It doesn't start to cool down until sometimes even late September around here. So and when I say cool down, I mean 90s still. But we appreciate you guys stopping by with our usual weekday show, midweek show, as we can call it. We got some stuff to talk about. Yeah, I know we went a little long on the last show because we were extremely opinionated with some of the topics that we're talking about last week. So we wanted to save some of that for this week because a couple of things popped up between now and then. So that's definitely one of the things that we like to share with you guys. Anytime we find some sort of juicy news to talk about and throw in our 2 cents, as is the norm for the show. So yes, as always, we appreciate you guys' patience with us as always. So taking a look at some of the topics that we're going to be talking about here before we get into them, as always, a word from our quick video sponsor. But these are the topics, right? We got some fights this weekend. We got some MVPW fights. Michaela Mayer and I forget her name, unfortunately, but I always forget her name. But point is, there's going to be some pretty solid fights on ESPN Plus, I believe, this weekend. So make sure to check that out, of course. But the primary fight that I kind of want to talk about is Moses Itauma. And quite frankly, it's not even so much the fight that I want to talk about, is yet another bone to pick that I got with DAZN with this particular fight being on pay-per-view. Yes, you did hear that correctly. The Moses Itauma Filip Hrgovic fight will be on pay-per-view, unless you have the ultimate package. So I got some stuff to say about that. So that's going to be one of the first. That's going to be the first topic that we're going to kick the show off with. One of the other things, oftentimes we try to stay out of fighters, outside of the ring stuff, especially if it doesn't interfere with the stuff that they do in the ring. It's just kind of tabloid drama stuff sometimes. But this one we had to do it. Because boy, was it low. Gervonta Tank Davis decided to clap back at Devin Haney regarding Devin Haney posting some comments that were distasteful about Gervonta's mom. Then the recent passing of Devin's mother, and Gervonta taking every opportunity he can to take a cheap shot and decided to clap back at Devin regarding the passing of his mother. A comment that he made that we're going to be talking about that, poor taste, poor taste. It's one thing talking about someone's mama, but it's another one when that mama has recently departed. So we're going to be talking about that, throwing in our 2 cents of what we think of the comment, of course, and maybe all the damage has already been done. You can't take it back, right? The toothpaste is out of the tube, as we say. We move on. The next topic being, once again, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. A comment made recently by one Frank Warren kind of made it seem like we're rapidly approaching a deadline. And if a fight isn't made within that deadline, this might fall into the category of yet another fight in the annals of boxing history that either never happened at all or happened way too late. Quite frankly, we're already too late, but it might fall into the bucket of never happening at all. So we're going to be talking about that and asking ourselves, is this fight really, in danger of not happening at all? A couple of fight announcements, some really more so that we already know the fight's happening, but more solidified. Jerome Boutsenis and Josh Kelly in a unification fight, right? We know that one has been in talks. And from what I understand, the talks are advancing. So it seems as though we're rapidly approaching a date. As of right now, they're thinking, end of the year. And when I saw this post, I was like, oh, snap. Okay, cool. We might have a date here real soon. And who other than one Rick Meridian decided to put a comment on that Instagram post that I thought was a little funny. I don't know. Sometimes I'm not sure what this guy's thinking sometimes when he goes on social media and posts stuff like that. But we're going to be talking about his comment there and what he posted under that. But that is going to be what we're going to be talking about. Boots Ennis and Josh Kelly in advanced talks. Oshaki Foster and Emmanuel Navarrete. Again, not breaking news. We know that fight's in the works, but it seems as though we now have a more solidified date, and we know a location, specifically a city. But because this is a unification fight, it looks like one of the sanctioning bodies has yet to give the green light for sanctioning this particular fight. So it seems as though the fight is going to take place with or without this belt. Of course, we want the sanctioning bodies to play nice, and we can all work together and we can all just get along and actually get this fight cracking for all three of these belts, because they're on the docket. Another fight announcement. It looks like Sebastian Fundora is going to be defending his WBC Super Welterweight Championship. And I'm not familiar with the opponent. I had to look him up, but what I discovered kind of surprised me. This is going to be PBC's first crack at the DAZN / TNT The Fight card that's going to be aired on both DAZN and TNT. So as of right now, no undercard, of course. They're basically just announcing the main event. But we're going to be talking about that because it's pretty intriguing when I pulled up who the guy is. But that's something we want to talk about. And then cap it off the show, unless some other information pops up, is once again our good friend, our good buddy Floyd Mayweather back in I'm gonna say the news, but on social media, advertising his law firm. Yeah, that's a weird one, considering the circumstance he finds himself in, the legal circumstances, I guess we can say plural. I'm not sure he's really the kind of guy you would go to suggest to recommend lawyers to assist you. But I figured we'd throw that in there because I thought that was funny as hell, and I saw it recently posted. As a matter of fact, Andrew sent it to me. Man, I don't know. First, we see, I want to say first because this is years ago, but we see Floyd Mayweather trying to sell windows in some English commercial. And now we have this. So I just thought it was pretty funny stuff to talk about. It is a relatively slow news week, but regardless, as always, we like to scrape the bottom of the barrel to try to find topics to talk about. And this is one of them. All right. So as always, before we get started with talking about this, a quick word from our channel sponsor, Health y Sol or Health y Sol. Make sure to check them out. If you happen to find anything you want to try, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or to follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video. As I always say, lavender patchouli is my favorite, so make sure to check them out. They have other stuff. I believe they have, besides the soap, sunblock, lotions, etc. So make sure to check them out. Health y Sol, Health y Sol. MADBoxing10 at checkout and get the 10% off, or the affiliate link in the description. All right, so we're gonna get cracking with some fights that are gonna be this weekend here. Let me see if I can pull it up. I always forget this particular boxer's name, but Michaela Mayer is going to be fighting this weekend. It's going to be on ESPN. Chantel Cameron. I knew it was Cameron in there, but they're going to be fighting on the co-main event. You will see Caroline Dubois. She's going to be on there, and as a matter of fact, I think Terry Harper is going to be on that same card. So it's going to be pretty stacked. It's going to be a pretty entertaining card. Make sure to tune into ESPN Plus for that one. But the one that I want to kind of discuss here is a rising heavyweight, Moses Itauma, if I'm pronouncing that properly. He's going to be fighting against Filip Hrgovic, the rugged and very experienced Filip Hrgovic. He's got quite the number of fights, more so than Itauma. But this fight is happening this weekend in the UK somewhere, so it's going to be aired here in the morning. Obviously, Itauma is the heavy favorite, right? And he's the one that is being prepped to be the next, big thing, the next hot shit in the heavyweight division, and specifically for English heavyweights. As I understand it, this is going to be for the vacant IBF heavyweight championship, which Frank Sanchez was actually supposed to fight for. But as I understand it, he took some step aside money to let this fight happen first, and then he gets the winner, as I understand it. So hopefully Itauma comes through, as he is the heavy favorite, and we get Itauma and Frank Sanchez later on for the IBF championship. That will be a scrap I'm willing to watch, pay for, I should say, because that's kind of part of my gripe here. For those of you who don't know already, DAZN has this ultimate package, right? That includes all the fights. You don't have to pay for anything extra, although it in of itself is an extra payment. But this fight is on pay-per-view. Now, look, I know we've basically dragged DAZN through the mud with this because when they first said that they're going to have this ultimate package, that they're going to have a minimum of at least or a minimum of 12 pay-per-views a year, we're thinking, oh, all right. And Andrew made a great point. We don't even know who the fuck is on these cards. It's starting to look now like, yo, these are pay-per-view slots that have to be filled. Throw them in there. Let's throw Dubois in there and Dubois and Wardley. Let's just throw. At this point, they're just trying to fill these damn slots, and this one looks like it's one of them. Andrew, let me go ahead and bring you in here. I'm down to watch Moses Itauma because the dude is the next hot thing, right? And he's going to be fighting this guy. But what is DAZN doing here? Like, are they really trying to force our hand to get this dang ultimate package? Because I don't know too many people inside of the U.S. are willing to fork up what I see the DAZN pay-per-view being $60 to watch Moses Itauma, an English boxer who hasn't made it here in the U.S. What the hell is DAZN trying to do here?
Are you trying to force my response? Nah. Look, dude, we went over this many times. I don't think there's too many people that are buying pay-per-views anymore. Mm-hmm. It's either you're in or you're out, right? One thing that I do see with this card is there's not a lot of Americans on it, right? So this is strictly for probably the UK fan base. Mm. And when you think of it that way, Itauma?
Itauma. Oof.
Itauma.
Yeah, we can just call him Moses because that's the easy name.
There you go, Moses, yeah. But I want to get his last name because he's going to be around most likely. Mm-hmm. He's a rising star, man, mm-hmm. right? So you got to think of it sort of like that for DAZN out there in the UK. Maybe they're going to get some buys on their side. And that's why they're doing it, right? Maybe there's some, I don't know what their closed circuit is out there, but maybe there's some bars that are still into boxing in the UK, and they're going to purchase this thing. But no, I don't think this is going to be a huge draw in America. Unfortunately, I think even if it was free, Miguel, I don't think it'd be a huge draw in America. He's just not there yet. He's not a crossover star, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not really knocking DAZN over this this situation anymore because, dude, you're getting everything on DAZN. Granted, yes, Garcia just went over to fight on Netflix. I hear you on that. And if you want to call DAZN and yell at him, I wouldn't argue against it. But as a boxing
and maybe AJ Fury, maybe that goes to Netflix too, right?
Yes, it may be AJ Fury also. Yeah, maybe that's what DAZN's fighting. I told you that wasn't going to last. But let's go back to, they have everyone on their network now. I don't know too many guys. If you had a soccer league that was on one channel for $54 or $55 a month, I think you'd be sold out. If the NFL network was $50 a month, and it might be, I don't know the prices on it, so don't cut my head off out there. But if it was around 50 something bucks, I think you'd have a lot of men, women, whoever, sports fans buying it in a heartbeat. So we have to start thinking of it like that. Like, at least DAZN, this is their last ditch effort, dude. This is all they got right here. Because I think if this works, where's boxing at after that? What, $1 million? We're going to be bragging about guys making $1 million from ESPN. So I think you should just buy the package. If you're a true fan, you're getting boxing from both sides of the pond. You're getting all the content that they can damn near grab, right? You're even getting the bullshit fights.
That's kind of my gripe. It's they're really just filling the rest. There's a few really good ones, and then filling the rest with crap. And no disrespect to those particular fighters, but I mean, when here in the U.S. and we're not known, or at least to the hardcores, they obviously they are, but to the general public, some of these guys are not known, and that's kind of where the balance is. Is it worth it? Is it worth paying it? Because you say you get everything, but if everything is a lot of crap and a little bit of good stuff, does it become worth it? Because you asked the question, if this ends up working, why the hell does it leave us?
That's in every sport, though. In every sport, you have a little bit of crap, right? Not every team's a winning team in football. Look at my Raiders. They're average 4-12 for 30 years.
Oh, Jesus.
Pretty bad, bro.
Yeah.
Look at the Detroit Lions. San Diego, the LA Chargers now. Rest in peace, Lee. I still call them San Diego. But look at these teams that have never won a Super Bowl, right? These franchises. Look at baseball. Franchises went 100-something years out winning a World Series. You have crap everywhere, right? Remember, I used to say that back in the day. There was one thing about boxing commentating media is we tell you when the sport's crap, right? We're like, this fight sucks. You shouldn't watch this. This shouldn't be on pay-per-view. It's very rare that you turn on an NFL game and the guys are like, today is Sunday, and wow, what a shitty game we have this afternoon. I don't know why anybody's watching. We got the losing-ass Raiders going up against defending Kansas City Chiefs champions. Right? Super Bowl champs. Shouldn't even really watch this fight. Why'd they put this game together? Or a game, excuse me. But you understand what I'm saying? You really never hear them talking like that. But in boxing, oh boy. Right? It's supposed to be the best of the best. We're like, this sucks. Right? There's only 10 guys out there, and we're complaining about 2 of them that are in the top 10 fighting. It's just the sport we have. But I'm leaning on the side that I think if you're a real boxing fan, you're either finding the other way to watch this shit or you're dropping the $50, but it's $50 to get every promotional company. Yes, we have 2 fights that aren't going to be on. If those are the 2 fights that are like, I'm not buying it because they don't have AJ Fury and Connor and Ryan, are you really that big of a boxing fan? Or are you just a fan of those 2 guys? Because in all honesty, if you're a boxing fan, Itauma looks to be the next big thing, and I'll get his name. I'll get your name, bro. Sorry, I'm butchering it right now. This weekend I'll get it.
It's a weird one.
I know, but I should do better. But
it took me a hot minute to get Dubois right. Trust me. I'm like that Dubois guy.
He is the future, right? I remember when I was young, I used to like watching the futures of the sports, right? That was a damn, I gotta see this guy. So, yeah, man, I think it is what it is now. We gotta hope that it works, dude, or we're not gonna be doing this show too much longer. You know?
Do you think if it doesn't work that they do away with this ultimate stuff, with this ultimate package, or maybe have a more reasonable price with? I mean, again, it's a lot of money, right? And in addition to some of the other stuff that you already have, other subscriptions that you're already owned to. But let's say the year goes out, they have to look at the numbers and be like, damn, did we get more subscribers? Did we get as many views? Did we have as many people watching under specifically the ultimate package as opposed to the regular one? If it's not a success, because we've talked about it, they never really released the numbers, right? So that gives us an indication that maybe it isn't working. Could that be maybe them leaning towards, or could that lead to them leaning towards removing it altogether come next year, maybe? Because another year of that, I mean, it'll be, again, the hardcores will fork up the cash. I get that, but they don't just want to get the hardcores to get these packages. They want the more broader audience to do it. Do you think they're going to continue with this, even if the numbers aren't great, which we suspect aren't?
Yes, I don't see this ending in a year. I think they have too much money. They have too much other content that's being delivered around the world that's been keeping the lights on. The NFL being one of the biggest ones. I keep telling you that. They got an NFL deal that they have in other countries, and I guess they do really good off of that. Then they have soccer. They're doing all right. they also have the UK numbers of DAZN. Remember, DAZN has like 70 million subscribers worldwide. Now, I don't know what they're charging those people for their services, but 70 million is a decent number, right? You could probably pay some bills with 70 million subscribers a month. So I think they're in as long as the promoters are in. As long as the promoters keep signing the contracts to bring their fights to DAZN, I wouldn't see why they would want to get out of the business. I don't think they're in the red. They're not Turkey because they don't spend like Turkey, right? Their fights are still somewhat in the ballpark where they're probably turning a nickel still. So I don't think they're totally in the red on that end, and I don't see them going, oh man, we gave them 1 year, didn't work, we're out of here. I don't see it. Maybe 5 years down the line, we might see DAZN let go of boxing, something like that.
Well, let go of specifically that package, not necessarily.
No, I'm saying let go. Why would you keep a sport when you control the entire? It's almost like we're the darts sport, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that to us. Don't do
no,
that
Miguel. I mean, we are talking about every promotional company being under one banner and it not being successful. Fucking scrap it, dude. It's done. It's over. I'm not paying what 30 million into other guys' wages so I can get 2 guys that make money. They better make a lot of money. That Canelo better be bringing in like 500 million on his fight nights. If that's what we're gonna do, we're gonna spread all this love to. How many weight classes do we have? Did it say 18?
17, I think. Oh no, including like some new one, but yeah, I think it's 17.
All right, 17. We're gonna pay 16 other weight classes just to keep that one guy in that one weight class? No. I think they scrapped it, dude. Like it didn't. It's not that it didn't work. Boxing ruined itself if we don't get it right. Boxing ruined itself because it was once a king of all sports, and it started from the inside. They started having that funny business on the inside, and it ruined them, right? So, no, I would say DAZN would invest that money somewhere else. Let's go after Major League Baseball. Let's go after some more football content. I don't know. Try to get into it somewhere else. Football, maybe soccer. Maybe they go to try for more soccer leagues, but why would you invest into boxing, dude, if we're getting 60,000 views in America? I'm supposed to give a guy $5 million? And that's low. It's a low payout,
Yeah, I want to be able to be like, all right, I can do this. We can do $45 a month or whatever this shit. But when I see this kind of stuff, and I for the most part, they do pretty decent about giving you at least one good fucking card a month. The rest is just kind of fillers. A lot of the UK stuff early in the morning, which I still watch regardless, right? But that's because I have the regular DAZN app and or DAZN package and not the ultimate one. But every time I see something like this, I'm like, yo, I don't know how this is going to work out, if they're going to continue to try to request this extra amount if it's not people, already signing up or registering for this DAZN ultimate package. But that was my bone to pick with them. It's just like, damn, this is the one. And I mean, even if they don't do a minimum of 12 pay-per-views a year and they end up dropping the price some, even that would be still somewhat reasonable. It's like, what, at the very least, it's a little bit more reasonable, and I still get all the content, even these kind of type fights, because like I was saying at the beginning, it just kind of seems like they have the slots already, and they're like, shit, well, who the fuck else? We can't make this fight. We can't make this fight. All right, throw in Itauma in the fucking pay-per-view slot, and it's one of those things where we're already paying for a product that we're not sure what we're going to get. That's my primary gripe, I guess.
Yeah, and really, do we have a fight list of what they've put on this year? Like already what fights have been on? Can you see if you can pull up that list?
So I have my calendar at my desk, which is just a regular calendar, and I usually put the month's schedule there. I don't remember which ones are on DAZN specifically. I think most of them are going to be on DAZN anyway, but I can grab it. Let me grab it real quick so I can take a look at what fights we've had so far.
Yes, because we have. I mean, you go ahead and do that. We have 11 fights that are scheduled from now, what is this? August 28th all the way to October 31st. We have 11 boxing matches that are going to be on different weekends. Canelo Alvarez is one of them. Emmanuel Navarrete versus Foster is another. Dalton Smith versus Alberto Puello is another. Ben Whitaker is coming back to fight in the UK. That's a pretty big up and comer out there. You know what I mean? That's that Ben Whitaker kid. They have on here Garcia Ben. We know that's only for the UK, but guess what? They're still getting Garcia Ben, right? So the UK fans are happy. I mean, off the top, Miguel, that didn't sound like HBO right there. Canelo Alvarez, face of boxing. Foster Navarrete, unification match. Dalton Smith and Puello, WBC welterweight match. Ben and Garcia, WBC welterweight match. That's kind of a decent record, and that's only from September to October.
All right.
You
All right.
You know what I mean? Those aren't bad fights.
I pulled up my calendar here. So
Okay.
we're going to start off with January. The main one of January was Shakur and Teofimo.
Okay. January. All right. Let
Yeah.
me just do this real fast. Shakur and Teofimo.
We had some other ones here, but that one's the primary one, like Gilberto Ramirez before he fought.
Anything that looks like HBO, you got to mention. So if it's a unification or a title match, just throw the names out there because we're trying to sell this to the fans right now.
Okay.
If this is worth it or not. You know what I mean?
All right. So Gilberto Ramirez defended his two cruiserweight titles before he fought Benavidez. That was in January. Raymond Murataya fought Andy Cruz. And then the aforementioned Moses Itauma fought Jermaine Franklin. That was on DAZN. Those were the primary ones. The Dalton Smith and Subriel Matias fight. That was fun as shit. That was on there. Yeah, pretty sure it was on there. All right, that was January. February. Nick Ball and Brendan Figueroa. That was a fun fight. Let's see here. That was also Barrios Garcia. That was that. Then Navarrete, Eduardo Nunez. And then Clarissa Shields fight. That was in February. So I guess the primary one for that one is Barrios and Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. You said Clarissa was on there though too?
Yeah.
She's the GOAT, bro. Don't disrespect. No, just kidding.
Yeah. She'll fucking challenge you the way she challenges Rolly Romero. Like, who the fuck is this clown talking shit? And then let's see here. March we had the Fundora Keith Thurman. That again, pay-per-view, but it was DAZN, but it's also pay-per-view. Oh, well, actually, that was PBC, come to think of it. I don't think that was DAZN. So let me scratch that one.
Yeah, you're right. It was only late the zoo fight.
Right. So that one, the other DAZN stuff, Carlos Adames, nothing major there. Arnold Barbosa versus Kenneth Sims. So that one, nothing major. That one, that's kind of March might be the first one that we didn't get anything major.
Yeah, it's gross month there.
Yeah. Let's see here. April we had Wilder and Chisora.
Nice.
That was good. That was DAZN. Pay-per-view, of course, as well. We had the one you just mentioned, Ben Whitaker, also on that particular month. And then Jarrell Miller and Lenier Perot, the fight that I actually attended. So I guess those are the major ones for that particular month. Wilder Chisora might be the closest one to something major.
Yeah, both those months are kind of garbage though, but gotta move on. Not everything can be a sellout.
Right. May Ramirez and Gilberto Ramirez, and that was PBC pay-per-view. Although I don't know, were they already with DAZN at the time? Was PBC with DAZN? I don't think so, right? Because that's pretty recent.
I think it's only Zoo and Spence, bro, was the first one they did.
All right. Here we go. DAZN, Wardley, Dubois. That one was fun, but more so for us, the hardcores. This is May we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the Zone had their first top ranked card with Keyshawn Davis and Nair Albright. Ugh. Oh, here we go. May the Zone, Usyk and Verhoeven, the kickboxer. All right, that's okay. And then lastly, at the end of May, Oshaki Foster and Raymond Ford. That's like a boxing after dark type of fight.
That's right. Yeah.
That was May. Moving on to June, Bam Rodriguez, Antonio Vargas. Nothing crazy there. Let's see here. Jojo Diaz, Ashton Sylvie. No, nothing major. Oh, here we go. June. Xander Zayas, Jaron Ennis. That one's solid.
There you
That
go.
one's definitely a good one.
Yeah.
And then another Golden Boy one, Oscar Collazo against Nadir Valdez. Nothing major there. Smaller guys, super small. But I guess that month is going to go to Xander and Ennis.
Yep.
That was pretty solid. Moving on to July, we had our first DAZN fight or the fight on TNT with Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell. That was on the TNT/DAZN. Then Diego Pacheco versus Emmanuel Alim. That was on DAZN as well. Nothing great there. Joshua and Prenga. That one's pretty solid. July. That's a July one. Wow, that was it for July. And then now August with starting off with Cepeda and Roach Jr. And then we have the one we just had with Rolly and Teofimo. And then this coming weekend with Itauma. So
and then
we're a little past.
Spence and
oh
Zoo.
Yeah, Spence and Zoo. Sorry, oh shit, what did I miss that one? It's in here somewhere. Why did I miss it? July. Oh, July. There it is, right there. Boom. Okay, yes, right. But is that DAZN too? Is that DAZN too, or is that just strictly?
That's their first fight that was on DAZN.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So decent, bro. That is a decent list of names. Now you can say you have some standout fights like Shakur versus Tio, Barrios Garcia, Boots and Zayas. Those are three headbangers right there. That's pay-per-view all day on HBO. You're not getting those fights for free. So you're looking at $100 and something right there just in 3 fights. Right? So then you add in the Dalton Smiths, the Muratayas, the Navarretes, the Barbosas. These are all champions. These are all guys that would have fought on HBO, regular HBO. They're on DAZN now. Bam Bam Rodriguez, Keyshawn Davis, decent names. And then this last month, Cepeda, Roach, Raleigh, Teo, and the month before, it's Spence and Zoo. It's HBO, bro. I'm going to tell you, the fans need to stop bickering and just start. If you're really in love with the sport, this is where the sport's at now. I think we got to call it. We got to call it what it is. I know it sucks. But you know what? I hear NFL guys complaining about that NFL ticket all the time, dude. Because Miguel, most NFL fans do not like all 32 teams, bro.
Right.
You know
in
what
fact,
I'm saying?
most probably don't. Like that's how it is, right? The majority of them probably hate the ones at least in their fucking division.
Right. We're literally now what is that fantasy football shit? That was a little bit of a game changer. That really helped the league on this NFL ticket thing because now you have guys that were at least interested in every game because there might be money on the line, right? So you're not really watching for the score of the game. You're watching for your player to score points, right? So that was a real help for the NFL. But there were so many times that guys are like, I don't even watch the other games on Sunday. Right? I'm scanning through this shit, but why do I have to pay this much money if I'm really only watching one? Why can't I just pay for that one team? The NFL's like, nope. The only thing I know that the NFL ticket will do, and I've mentioned this to you, is they'll let you get out of it mid-season. So if your team sucks, dude, you just call them and say, can I cancel? They cancel it, and that's it. You're done paying. You probably pay from that date back. You're done. So that's what it is. I like that. I'm glad I had to do that list. It makes me feel better about DAZN. They're in a good place, dude. There's a lot of hitters in that first year of them doing this. That really does, a lot of that does have a lot of feel of HBO. Even the up and comers like Diego Pacheco, Moses Itauma, and who's the other key? You said Ben Whitaker, and you had one other name in here that's an up and comer. Keyshawn Davis, bam.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, then there's your little prospects coming up. You know what I'm saying? That they're trying to build on. So I gotta like it. Murataya, another one. Little in between the gaps there, getting him in there. So it is what it is, man. I have it, you know, just I think we're gonna be all right. I think it's gonna be all right as long as the diehards are still into the sport. I do not know how many diehards we have left. See, because one thing that's about old timers, dude, is if you lose their their concentration for too long, or what is the word? Their interest. Maybe they don't.
Their support.
Their support. Maybe they don't come back. Maybe they're like, you know what? I bought a boat and started fishing.
Right.
Kind of don't
like. I started playing softball. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't even really watch boxing or sports in general anymore. Many of my friends seem like they're growing up to that. I don't even care about fucking 20-year-olds throwing around a football anymore. It's really getting to that point with me when some of my guys, because we're old, right? Remember, the Niners just took 3 losses in the Super Bowl, bro. Yeah. These guys are so gutted. They're like, football.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, call me when they're in the playoffs. It's starting to turn into that kind of fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happens when you have 3 losses in, you know, in the Super Bowl, man. It's very hard to get that back. You know, you need a damn their dynasty to forget about those 3 L's you took back to back to back.
Was it back to back? No shit. 3 straight?
Oh, not just the last 3 times they were there.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. No, not back to back to back, but last 3 times they were there. They were still in the playoffs like 5 years in a row, though. It's something disgusting, bro. They just keep coming up short. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even they're gutted. So that's what DAZN needs to worry about. You know, they need to worry that the guy who's 38 and older is even going to come back to invest in this sport because you guys have kind of been out for so long, right? The casuals haven't really been watching the sport. Dude, I had many casual boxing fans in my family. I really don't have that many today. You know what I'm saying? I've got a lot of
same here. Trust me, same here. They're like, oh yeah, it's fallen, yada yada. You know what? They used to come over to my house. I used to invite them. You know. Then now it's like I'm watching it, and they're like, "Are you gonna watch it?" Oh, I'll come over. You know, it's just kind of one of those things. Like they're not interested. They forget the names and everything. It's behind them at this point.
Yeah, I told you that on Canelo, bro. They were like bringing up the fights that didn't even happen on DAZN. They're like talking about Triple G. I'm like, bro, he's had like fucking 5 fights since then. Like,
right.
But then, you know, they probably never even bought into DAZN. You know what I mean? So, so that's what DAZN needs to hurry up and try to rekindle is the love in that age bracket. Because honestly, I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. We know how to pay. That's one thing about boxing fans, dude. We're the rich of the rich. I've said it since I was little. I won't get off of it. That's why they hate us. Is because we continue to pour money into this sport, even though it gives us, you know, abuse sometimes, right? We see some of these calls that are made. In other sports, it's not like that. You just turn the channel and you forget about it. In boxing, you're like, oh, I can't believe you're watching that again. You didn't see what happened last time? It's like, whatever. But I've always thought it was a rich man's sport, dude. You needed all the base cable channels to watch it. You needed the premium channels to watch. And on top of that, oh, guess what? Here's a pay-per-view on top of your HBO bill. Like that, it's not for the weak. You know what I mean? So, and not saying that we were easily paying for this shit too. That's how much we love this sport. My mom struggled to get that boxing match on, but we still did it. Right? That was the love. That was the love my family had for the sport back then. And DAZN needs to see if that's going to come back. If it does, we'll be all right, though. I truly believe that. I think it's really the UFC, the MMA fan base that has more of an issue of they have a generation of fucking fans that do not pay for shit. They will not pay. It could be the banger. They're on their phone watching it still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, ain't that the fight of the fucking year or whatever? And it's like, yeah, I ain't paying for that. I'll watch right here. Like,
Those are the only ones that I used to pay for. Like, I mean, I pay for now. Obviously, I have the Paramount Plus app, but what I'm saying is, like, usually I'm like, all right, this one, this I'm not with, because the UFC was really strictly a pay-per-view model, so they had no choice, right? And then once they started getting on Fox, ESPN, yada yada, they still had the pay-per-view model, but it was like one pay-per-view a month, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I can probably fork that up, because like I watched it, but of course then there was boxing, and that's like shit. That kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. But that's usually what I would do. I'm like, I'm paying for some of these shitty pay-per-views. I'm paying those, but when it's a major pay-per-view, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have a problem forking up cash for that one, because I would do that in those particular cases. But now, of course, without that, we have just regular Paramount Plus. But what you're saying is that DAZN should hire you, basically, because you just sold them. You just sold them the ultimate package. Like, Eddie, I know you're listening. Give them a call, and a free ultimate package subscription, please, while we're at it.
And put it on your page, dude.
Yeah.
I said snip it and put it on their page.
Precisely. All right. Anything else you want to add to that one? I mean, I guess we don't have to go over the fight. Itauma's, the heavy favorite, so it's not like we're gonna go over that specifically. But anyway, wanted to throw in my grievances on there with this damn pay-per-view stuff that seems to be slowly, if not already, dying. But yeah, anything else you want to add to that before we go on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. So this one, we might get called out a little bit for being a bit of a tabloidish topic here, because it's stuff outside of the ring, not necessarily stuff that has been inside of the ring, but we do cover it every so often, because sometimes some stuff is just so damn egregious that we have to cover it. The recent I guess backlash that one Gervonta Tank Davis had for a particular comment that he made regarding his Devin Haney's mother. Now, this was in response to something that Devin Haney initially said. So he's the one that threw the first stone, right? I believe it was something along the lines of, I'll post your father since you don't post them. And he posts a picture of Gervonta and his mother. So I'm not sure what that was in reference to begin with, but basically throwing a jab at him, right?
The haircut.
The haircut. The shaving.
It's the haircut.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and was this recent? Was this like this last Father's Day or something? Or do you remember what
I believe it was? Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, I remember when that happened. To be honest with you, I really didn't get it until this week, though. But I remember seeing that post. You know what I mean? But yeah, now it makes sense why he did that, and that was fucked up.
Yeah,
but don't worry, Davis is going to be back.
right.
That was fucked up, but he's going to be back.
I pulled it up here. This was it doesn't have a specified date, but yes, this is a picture of Gervonta and his mother with the same hairstyle, pretty much, just different color. It says, "I'll post Tank Dad for Father's Day." Yeah, since he won't. Happy Father's Day, Big Tank. That's fucked up. You broke, and you made him move out the house. Not quite sure what he's talking about there, but. Anyway, that was the first stone that was thrown, right? And basically it was a shot at Gervonta and his mother. Well, Gervonta decided to clap back over the recent passing of Devin Haney's mother, who he posted a picture of,
which is sad. That's sad. I feel sorry for Haney. They're
right. Exactly. Yeah, sorry about that. Just glazing over that, but that's a pretty serious thing, right? It's like, yeah, it's mine. But you do only have one mother in this life, right? And right. That feeling. And my dad taught me that all the time with my grandma, who passed back in 2015. It's like you never, you feel like an orphan. You're an adult, but it's like you feel like an orphan when you get to that point, right? So it's very a serious matter, and it's very gut wrenching when it happens, because it is inevitable. So rest in peace, Mrs. Haney. But Gervonta decided to post a picture of her doing the peace sign and saying she's doing the same thing her son did, went to sleep. Oh boy.
Damn.
Yeah, so he definitely did not hold back with that particular comment. Now, as I understand it, this comment has since been removed, but let me go ahead and read the caption from the specific Instagram account that you had sent me, Andrew, that had the clip on there. This is from the Knockout Family. That's the name of the Instagram account. Gervonta Davis took the beef to another level. Gervonta Davis has caused serious backlash after appearing to mock reports that Devin Haney's mother has passed away. Tank posted a photo alongside the brutal caption, what I just said, she's doing the same thing, yada yada, taking shot at Haney being dropped by Garcia, at least that's what it says. The post has since been deleted. But there's more context to the beef. Devin actually brought Tank's mom into the thing to begin with, that we just mentioned, of course. Now Tank has fired back with even more in an even more personal way, showing just how toxic this rivalry has become outside of the ring. There is still no public confirmation from Devin Haney's family regarding his mother reporting passing. This was a few days ago. I believe it has since been reported, right, Andrew? I think they've already confirmed that his mother has passed. But anyway, this is the low blow that Gervonta took. Now, oftentimes, sometimes the silence is golden, right? And there are just times where you don't need to say anything, right? Things kind of, if Gervonta, was hurt, the hurtful words that Devin Haney said about, his dad/mother really posting the picture, that is karma enough, that having the issue with his own family and his mother passing. Hey, you know what? He can at least in his head say, you know what, dude, had it. This is what you get, bro. You talk about my mom. This is what the shit happens to you, right? And even like that, not even saying it, just think it, fucking think it, leave it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's some shit that just doesn't need to be aired. He didn't. He decided to just go out there and, regardless, throw that low blow at Devin. As of right now, I don't know if Devin has even responded to that, or if he's even in the right mind to respond to it. Really, does he give two flying fucks at this point? I don't know. But it has been reported that Gervonta has removed the post anyway. But the damage has been done. What has been said. The screenshots are out there, and the cat is out of the bag. I don't know if that's the right word. The toothpaste is out of the tube. You can't put it back in. It's too late. So, and Gervonta has some backlash, as I mentioned earlier. Andrew, go ahead and throw us our 2 cents here. Gervonta could have just stayed quiet and let bygones be bygones and be things as they are, but he decided to take this route. Why would he have done that? Why would he be that dirty to do that, knowing that Devin is already suffering here? Whatever he said, he's going to be suffering for whatever it is, for the things that he said. But why do that? Why take that low route like that?
He's not the smartest young man out there. He's always shown us that, right? Mm-hmm. In the way that he lives, the way that he's ran his boxing career. I know he's gonna, probably show a whole bag full of money after he hears this show and his watches and tell us how dumb everyone else is, and he's fine. But he should be a lot bigger than what he is. I don't even know. Look, when you say and do things like this, you get successful people that don't want you in the room. They just don't like you. You know what I mean? You're not the type of person people want to be around. Gervonta seems to be that guy. So I think this hurt him in more ways than one. When he does need to come back for a fight, who really wants to be on his team, right? The guy beats women, gets arrested, in trouble with the law all the time, and now throws shots on social media about people's mothers passing away. And it wasn't right what Haney said either, right?
Right. Definitely not absolving him of blame,
of blame, but way overboard what Davis did, right? Now, on the other side, this just made this like the most demanded fight maybe is about to come out of this that we've seen in a long time. Oh, when this beef hits the mainstream, when all the casuals find out that these two have been going at it like this online, and they carry this into the promotional side of their fight, I think you're looking at one of the biggest grossing fights of all time. I'm dead serious, man. Like, this thing is going to be this has the making of Hearns Hagler. Smaller, but that same violence. Will not be a boxing match, most likely. If these guys are real and one took it this far, Haney's going to come for blood, right? So it's almost it's crazy that it's very there's not too many times in our sport that we have real beef when two guys get in the ring. I believe Haney versus Davis is the real deal now. I don't know when it's going to happen, but when it does.
But are we going to get that, you think? You think Gervonta is going to come back and then be like, all right, I'm going to jump up to 147. Let's do it? You really think? Yeah? Oh,
yes, because he was talking about doing 147 against Floyd Mayweather years ago. He's only getting more desperate and older and heavier. It will happen. He's got Ryan up there. He's got Cruz up there. He can rematch all those guys, make millions. He just needs fucking dumbass just needs to come back to the sport. You know what I mean? But yeah, that fight might be one of the most sought after fights when it does get made that we've seen in a long time.
What did you call him, Andrew? That's him. That's actually him. It's kind of funny. I figured I'd throw that in there because 2 weeks in a row, I got to throw it in there.
Yeah. So I was like, dude, that is so fucked up that he put that. And I know Haney fucked up too, but damn, talk about kicking a guy when he's down. You know what I mean? Because then
that was like stomping a motherfucker while he's down. Jeez.
And then he put some like Muslim. Don't knock me, you guys, but they're both Muslims, right?
Oh, that's right. Gervonta changed his name, right?
Whatever the hell name converted to, I believe.
Yes.
And damn, now they're putting religion on top of it, as if maybe, is one holier than the other kind of deal. You know what I mean? It was.
Let me read that comment because he posted it on here. It was on one of his stories. He says, "Crazy how Buddy talked about my mom only for his mom to check a few weeks later." I think he meant to say check out a few weeks later. Yeah. Now post that inshallah. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Inshallah,
yeah. But yeah, he threw that in there. What does that mean? I mean, I don't say anything.
Yeah, but it's almost like he's saying hallelujah. Yeah, like he's praising the fact that she went down. It's bad on so many levels.
If Allah wills it.
See? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's terrible, boy. Yeah.
Gonna be some blood for that one.
But I mean, yes, there is. But what happens when fighters go into a fight kind of with their judgment clouded because their emotions? They don't fight the same. Yeah, granted, they go in there biting their lower lip and swinging for the fucking fences, but that could mean he's going to leave himself open for some tank counter and catching his ass or something.
Absolutely could, but who cares? Hagler Hearns too. Something we need, bro. That might get boxing back on the radar, at least for that year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Haney needs to, jump on this right away because but
yeah, he's got other stuff to take care of first. I mean, obviously with this, right? He's gonna have to mourn first.
I was talking about the response. I think he should back up his mother. No, if someone talks about my mother in public, bro. We're on site, especially in their world. Right, where all this stuff, it's all in public. Now, I would tell motherfucking Davis it's on site. You better not see me until your fucking name's on the contract.
Right, and it's in the ring. Yeah,
because it's on site. It's on now. It's fucking on. His mom died, bro, and he fucking put that online. Now I'm holding a pen like I'm. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I watch too many prison videos.
Yeah, it's like it's on site, fool. It's on fucking site. Like, yo, relax.
You're making a shank on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're gonna see you in a few fucking days, just like carving a fucking spoon handle, to make that shit happen. Andrew, are you trying to tell us something about your history here?
No,
just saying.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing, but definitely on site though. I would put that out there on Davis.
Right.
So
Damn, you know what's crazy? Like now thinking about the time that that Devin tried to punk that dude at the fair, right? And his hands, like what is he? Is he really gonna do that? You think? Barely fucking tap the dude?
not saying he's good at being violent, but he needs to be violent on this one, man. Yes. Don't wear your wide legs, please, Haney, when you do the street fight.
Right. Don't wear your fucking the boots.
Yeah, the purses, bro. Oh, this is gonna be bad. This went from macho to sad really fast. Wait a minute, fuck you. Hey, hold on, take off all their jewelry. Like,
here, hold my Rolex, and then they start like fighting the way like chicks do. Like, let's hope it doesn't get to that point. But I wouldn't be surprised if things start popping off if they do end up coming across one another in public, because at least from the Devin side, right? Gervonta, he's already through the stone. He's like, all right, whatever. I did what I did. Come at me, bro, if that's what you're gonna do. But with each one's with each one's record, I don't know if they'd. I mean, more so Gervonta, of course, than Devin, but maybe that's not such a good idea. I know they're gonna do it, because it's still. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're definitely gonna do it, but I'm saying there's a real possibility for it to do it, and they might kind of jeopardize a possible fight. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the boxing world would be smart to keep these two out of the same room for a minute. Don't try to be slick and put them in the room as some kind of fucking peace treaty is gonna happen, Mr. Suleiman. No. Don't do anything like that.
Or DAZN, have him in the same face-off, or Mr. Versace having a fucking thing. Like, no, don't go that direction, please.
The lie test.
Yeah, the lie detector test. Yeah, that shit. It's like,
you really need to say about his mother while he's standing right there? Fuck.
Or some shit for content, like the hot ones eating hot wings. Like, yeah, I said that shit about his mom. Over here fucking drooling over the damn hot wings. No, please, no, none of that.
Yeah, and if they don't have that. If there is a convention where both of them are supposed to be, pump up security, because I think that's needed for these. These two definitely took it over the line.
Oh boy, definitely a very low blow from one Gervonta, and I don't think we're going to hear an apology anytime soon. But at this point, I don't think it matters. But we'll keep you posted to see if we hear anything else from, at least specifically from Devin's side, because as of right now, I'm sure he's in the process of mourning, right? So it's not like, that's kind of why I think he wasn't going to go to social media and try to respond somehow, because he's got a lot more other stuff on his mind than this motherfucker. So once he gets over that, or at least on the way out, and you never get over something like that, right? It's just how it is. But when you're feeling better about things and you kind of have you're at peace a little more, then he's going to most likely attack Gervonta, I suspect, at least. All right. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on?
No, I was going to go deeper, but I don't want to.
Oh, geez. Don't give us a freaking cliffhanger like that. Like, I was going to say some fucked up shit, but no, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it.
I'll step back.
Fair enough. All right. So,
I can say.
Oh, gosh damn.
If it was a movie and I was a director, it's when all the families together at the funeral, they're planning to get back. Right? You know how they have the party? You know how they do it, dude?
Yes.
They have the party, then they're going to be talking to Haney about how the fuck we can get back. That's when the balls start rolling, man.
Oh, yeah. I wonder, I have to assume he has, but I wonder if Haney's even seen the comment. Like, do you think he's seen it by now? Like,
I think they did.
Or at the time of the funeral or afterwards, right? Or whatever. Then at that point, the family member's like, yo, did you see what Gervonta said? And he's like, I've been off social media for a hot minute, bro. What did he say? And then maybe
that's a good one too. That's maybe, a good one,
right? Because who knows? If and maybe Devin knows. Devin, after this happens, he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get it from this puto. So let me go ahead and just get off social media for now to have my mind at least concentrated on the shit that I have to concentrate on, and then I'll get back to the son of a bitch later.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. This next one here is this could potentially fall under the category again of fights that happen too late, because they already has at least that part, or fights that didn't happen at all. We've been going back and forth with this Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury negotiations for a hot minute. As of right now, it seems as though what's holding this back is the location. That's what everybody's saying, at least, right? There may be stuff that we don't know about, but on the outside, from what we understand, it's specifically location. Yes, sir.
It is not the location. We can't give fake news, bro.
Okay, then what is it?
They signed to fight in the UK. And then out of nowhere, Netflix got involved, and all of a sudden the fight needs to be in New York now, or they're not doing it.
So it's a breach of contract. It's a breach.
It's a breach of contract, man. That's why Eddie Hearn said, you guys are lying. The contracts have been signed. All we're asking is them to honor it. And if they're not going to honor it, then give us the money that we're going to lose taking this fight now to America. And they are going to lose money. You really think they could do 100,000 in America like they can in the UK? No, right? I don't either, bro. You really think they're going to sell out the merchandise in New York like they would in the UK? They could probably bring in $40 million worth of t-shirts and programs and hats and fucking towel, everything they wanted with Tyson and AJ's face on it, and it would most likely sell out that night. There is a lot of money on the table in the UK for this fight. Remember, we said the UK was the hot spot of boxing. It's crazy that they're taking this fight from them when those guys are so good. And two, it's taxes. What we talked about last week. He never told AJ he was going to have to go over to New York and pay taxes over there too. So that's cutting from the money that he had guaranteed him.
Now, I understand that on Tyson Fury's end, that wasn't part of the contract, but it was the one that was on AJ's end. So now it seems as though we're talking about two different contracts. Yeah,
but he didn't have anything in his contract. He didn't give a shit where he
fights. Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, he did say anywhere.
Yeah. So now you can't come out and go, oh, well, I want to stick with Netflix. Well, it doesn't say it in your contract, though.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I remember them mentioning that he never gave a fuck where the hell the fight was going to be.
Best believe now Tyson Fury's next contract to close up this loophole is going to say, I'm wherever Turkey wants it, or I'm wherever, you know what I mean? They're all going to fix this. Believe me, Eddie Hearn got one over on Turkey on this one. Oscar tried it with Ryan. It sort of worked. He got Ryan sort of back on DAZN out there in the UK and Ireland, I think it is. But Turkey really got handed to him by Eddie. Really got snuck one in there on his contract. So I just
and really rightfully so, right? The fight should be over there, right? Even though they haven't been able to make it this long, right? So if it escapes them, it's their own fault, but it still belongs there. Is my point.
And for everyone that's throwing the what was it? The Muhammad Ali fought Foreman in Africa and then Frazier in
the Philippines.
That's part 3. Frazier.
Yes.
And right? All right. That's the third fight. We all know what the third fight usually isn't as juicy as number 1 and 2. Then the George Foreman fight, Don King's broke when he signs that. He doesn't have a dime to his fucking name. It was a king, I think, over there in Africa that gave him the 10 million. So can we not act like it is the same thing? And they took Muhammad Ali out of the country. It was not the same thing. These guys are about to make the biggest fight in UK history. Muhammad Ali wasn't doing that with George Foreman in his first fight, and he wasn't doing that with Frazier in the third fight. So just got to stick up for DAZN there.
All right. Thank you for the correction. So it's more so a breach of the contract that should have already been agreed upon. And now they're trying to switch it up, do a bait and switch on them, specifically on the location part. So it's really more so the breach, which, as a matter of fact, Eddie Hearn has said himself specifically, the way he explained it. So recently, Frank Warren of Queensberry has come out, and this was, I believe, yesterday. The post specifically that I found online is Fight Club 24/7 on Facebook. He says, or the caption says, Frank Warren has confirmed Anthony Joshua has until next week to finalize the Tyson Fury fight, or the deal will fall through again. And this is a quote from one Frank Warren. Unless AJ commits by the end of next week, I'm afraid this will slip away like many of the great fights which have never happened. So that being said, and after Andrew corrected the news, Andrew, do you think this fight is really in danger of slipping through our fingers yet again, or is something miraculous going to happen? I really shouldn't call it miraculous. It's really more so Tyson Fury agreeing to, his portion and saying we're gonna his side of the contract, saying we can have it wherever the shit they want. But are we really in danger of losing this fight yet again, or is something going to happen between now and next week to solidify this fight happening?
Okay. I believe they've already moved the goal line one time. I could have swore they told us this Monday was the deadline for this fight. And we are now going into what, Thursday or Friday tomorrow, right? No, Thursday.
No. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. But it says by the end of next week. So we were supposed to have heard something this past Monday.
Okay. We're at Thursday and they're telling us next week. I'm guessing next week they're going to say, well, we're very close, so let's go ahead and give them one more week. It might be. What I like at the end of all these rants, Warren and Eddie, has anyone heard from Turkey about this?
I don't think, other than that one thing a while back talking about having it in the UK and have it be at 4 a.m. or something like that, which was almost a month ago at this point, I think. That's it. I haven't heard anything since.
So it's really been just Warren and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about what they say at the end of all their rants is, I think it can get done. I think it will get done. Both of them are on record saying that. It might be just a financial situation to see where they're going to get their money, where the money's going to come in at, right? What is Turkey going to agree upon on the bonuses that he has to give AJ and Eddie for doing this? So yeah, I'm still thinking the fight's going to happen. But I would not be surprised if they did walk, because I believe AJ has somewhat of a future still in boxing because of the landscape of the heavyweight division right now. And I know he was face planted by Dubois, but I just feel like there's more of an avenue for AJ to continue his career than there is for Tyson. I think Tyson's already checked out of boxing. He just got his foot in the door for this one fight. He's got one payday. His confidence and his mental game is above AJ. So I think he from the very beginning, he knew he was going to beat Anthony Joshua. And I don't think he's getting off of that mindset. And that's the only reason why he's hanging around. But if this fight was to go, I wouldn't see Tyson putting on too many more fights. He doesn't draw the same type of money, the same type of interest that Anthony Joshua does. So Eddie Hearn could walk.
That being said, the way you described Fury, obviously at this point, because he's retired a gazillion fucking times, we can't imagine him sticking around for too much longer. But if that is the case, and this is kind of like he's already checking out, why does he care so much about where the location is going to be? Why not just go do it in the UK then? If he's like, I'm on the way out, I don't give a fuck. Clearly his contract says that he doesn't really care where the fight's going to happen. Why are they holding this up? And if that's the case, if that's really the case that he's about on the way out, just agree to it, man. You know you're going to get it and end up more money over there. Is it something that he's trying to maybe be okay with or be on Turkey's good side or something like that?
Yeah, I think this is the Netflix thing, right? This would be he's holding up because Turkey's telling him to hold up because Netflix wants it in New York. You know what I mean? That's Turkey's the one who's paying Fury, right? Okay. So if Turkey tells them no, we're not agreeing to this, I see Tyson staying with that.
All right, because it just seems like it's a waste here. Like, let's just get this shit done already. If he doesn't really give a rat's ass, now we know that he does, right? At least being told, doing what he's being told, I should say. All right, being told what I should say, and at this point, we've gone back and forth on this fight for such a long time. Um, I kind of get the impression that people are losing interest in it. We want this fight to happen. I, to be honest, I don't care where the shit it happens. We're at the point right now where we just need it to fucking happen already. Um, I don't care if it happens in the I mean, again, I do watch the UK fights in the morning, so that's not really a problem with me. I don't have a problem if the fight takes place over there in prime time and we get it over here in the morning. That's fine with me. If it ends up being at 4 a.m. so we get it prime time, well, shit, all right, cool. It just seems like there's a lot of concessions here. They're like, all right, cool. If we're gonna get it in the UK, it has to be at 4 a.m. or whatever, so we can get it prime time. Obviously, this is the Netflix people talking, right? And Turkey and specifically, which Andrew mentioned we haven't heard from in a hot minute. But we've gone back and forth on this so much. I'm not. If we don't get this fight, I'm sorry to say, I'm not sure if a lot of people will give a shit at this point, really, because of how things have gone back and forth for such a long time. I could be wrong. And I know this is going to be a different example because we're talking about an American and a Philippine. But when it comes to a Filipino, to Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, we had the same process for the longest friggin' time. These dudes were going back and forth. This fight that happened with Manny and Floyd happened 6 years too late at this point. For what it was, if I'm recalling correctly, 09 I think is when things got hot and things were actually going to happen, and ultimately it happened in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, May of 2015. So granted, it happened once, right? We got the fight. It did crazy pay-per-view numbers. It did attendance, yada yada. But that did involve an American and the biggest, the face of boxing. This doesn't involve that. This doesn't involve an American at all, and maybe to some degree the face of heavyweight boxing. But even then, they're English, right? They're not American. So I kind of get the impression that if the fight ends up not happening, I don't know how many people will give a shit. At least here on this side, I know that the UK fans or the English fans are going to care because they're missing out on a pretty big fight. And for us Americans, I'm not sure if we'll care too much. Yes, it would suck because it's part of the three-headed, or the way Max Kellerman explained it, the three-headed heavyweight monster that was Wilder, Fury, and Joshua for a hot minute. Then things kind of got muddied with Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz, and we did get an excellent trilogy out of Fury and Wilder. So we got that, right. I mean, that might be our consolation really at this point. And then eventually Usyk kind of made his way into this thing and whooped everyone's as well. Not Fury, but maybe that will happen at some, or not Fury, I'm sorry, Wilder. It didn't fight Wilder, and maybe he will. Maybe at this point he will. Who knows, frankly. But it's just, I think we're at a point that if the fight doesn't happen, I'm not sure how many people will care about it. Andrew, welcome back. Everything all right on your end?
Yeah, everything's all right. Cool. Front door.
So I was just telling people that I'm not sure if the fight doesn't happen, I'm not sure if people will give a shit. And I use the example of Floyd and Manny that had the same thing happen for a while, but that did involve an American and the face of boxing at the time, right, Floyd? This one doesn't involve any. If the fight doesn't happen, do you think, at least in America, that we'll give a rat's ass about the fight not happening?
Definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely not, and that's why the fight doesn't belong here, though. It would be very sad for the UK fans, and like I said, you guys, I truly do think this fight happens either way. Tyson is only siding with Turkey because Turkey has him under contract. Let that contract go away. He gives two shits about Turkey. He comes right back to Frank Warren. They do the fight anyways. So I think that there's a possibility that the fight happens in the UK without Turkey being involved. Right? This is going to be a year or so later. I'm not talking about this timeline.
Yeah.
This is going to be later on. But if this thing falls apart, maybe Netflix tries to do something with Tyson Fury and someone else. Maybe. I don't know. But eventually, when Turkey and Zuffa go away, because I'm telling you, I believe at some point they will be going away. I don't see them hanging on. They'll find their way back to, what is it, Wembley, we said?
Yeah, Wembley Stadium, exactly. All right. That was our spiel on that one. I want to make sure I'm following our agenda here properly. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. So this next one, these next few topics that we're going to be talking about are really more so fights that have already been announced, but now seem to be a little bit more solid. Jerome Boots Ennis and Josh Kelly are in advanced talks or advanced negotiation for a unification fight. Jerome having the WBO and WBA championship, and the IBF being held by Josh Kelly at 154 pounds. The bout is reportedly being targeted for the East Coast. That they haven't said specifically where, but of course, he is Jerron is a Philadelphia fighter, so there's a pretty high probability that they're going to do it there. Why not? If Matchroom and Eddie Hearn were smart, they would go that direction. A homecoming, and it's going to happen either in November or December. So as of right now, that sounds that we talked about earlier the calendar that I went over, right? The June fight with Zayas and Boots, and that was kind of the highlight of that particular month. We might get another one, before the end of the year, again on DAZN. Chances are they might go that direction and do a DAZN pay-per-view type shit. But regardless, it looks like we might get it. All right, that seems to be the case. Now, on this, I'm not sure what you would think of the topic or the comment, I should say, on this post, which was on the Ring Magazine Instagram account. They posted this, the advances in talks. In the comment section, one Rick Meridian decided to throw in his 2 cents and posted a GIF or Giphy, or how you would call it, Virgil Ortiz kind of doing like he's in the ring in the corner. It's almost like he's being announced, and he like kisses his glove and points it to the camera. Why? I don't know, because we've already explained that Virgil is going to move up to 160, so who gives a fuck, really? And he adds another comment to this that says, advanced is hilarious. Whatever the hell that means, I'm understanding it as if he has some sort of firsthand knowledge that the fight actually isn't in advanced talks, or something along those lines, because why specifically single out that word advanced? Why does he find that funny? Why else could that be other than, maybe the talks haven't advanced and they're stalled, at least according to him, who I can't imagine would have, too much information. I don't think he's part of this conversation, so I'm not sure how he would know, but he's in the circle. Maybe I'm, not giving him enough credit for that. But Andrew, what number one, before we get to Rick Meridian's comment here, all right, pretty solid fight right before the end of the year. We're getting in November, December. Boots Ennis and Josh Kelly.
Excellent fight for Jerron Boots. Kelly's there for the taking, in my opinion. I just don't like his style going up against Boots. Head in the line, has no defense, keeps his hands down. So I definitely see Boots winning this fight. And I think that's what he means when he's saying advanced talks with the sarcastic way. What advanced talks? Josh Kelly would bend over for Eddie Hearn if he wanted him to. I'm just playing, but that's what he means, Miguel.
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying?
I get that, but that doesn't mean that the talks haven't advanced. It just means
there is
that
no advance. Eddie Hearn called Josh Kelly and said, "Hey, I got you a fight. This is what you're making," and then hung up. And Kelly was like, "Hey, I got a fight." There was no negotiating. That's what I think he means on that, bro. Like, stop it with your acting like you're doing some big promotional thing over there. You got one guy who's giving a title to the other guy. Now, hey, Josh Kelly, you pull off an upset, more power to you. But I believe that's what Meridian meant by that, and I kind of agree to him. Like, stop it. There was no negotiating. Like,
really, you don't think at least Joshua? Because here's the thing: we've talked about Eddie Hearn, who on many occasions, unfortunately, basically sacrificed his fighters. Right? We remember a lot of the Mexican fighters that he would bring over to try to, pad up the records of his guys, and they'll get fucked up, right? So, if he's in a position where one of his guys, I mean an English fighter that he has under his banner, is going to just divvy up the belt, it's going to be because he's going to get paid for it, right? I mean, I have to assume that's what it is. So I can't imagine that it was as that simple. I know this is an exaggeration, but for there to be at least no request from Joshua Kelly, be like, you give me how much? Can I get a little more, please? You know, something along those lines. Like, all right, you'll get the belt, sure, no problem, but can I get a little more? You know, come on, guys. I have to assume something like that happened. It wasn't just a simple like, bro, you're making this much, or there's no fight. It's like, all right, well then I keep my belt, I suppose. But yes, maybe not too much pushback from Kelly, but a little bit, no?
You know, Kelly maybe demanded a little bit more money, right? But if Eddie Hearn was smart, he probably gave him the most money he's ever made already. He already had that on the table, right? So it'd be very hard for Kelly to go, no, I want this amount. And when, you know, Eddie'd be like, come on, bro, 10 years I worked with you before you became a champ. So that's what I just have a feeling that's what Meridian means, and I gotta kind of agree with him on that one. I don't think the negotiate. Remember, we kind of said this fight was done after Josh Kelly won. You know what I'm saying? We're like, dude, there's no way Eddie Hearn doesn't take boots to this guy, and it's playing out just like that.
Yeah. All right. So looking forward to that one. That one should it be happening according to this at least November, December on the East Coast. It would be smart of them to take it to Philadelphia, no?
Yes, dude. Like I said, man, I want them to try to pack in the biggest. I didn't even say the Eagles. They could go to Eagle Stadium. I know it might be too much money, but I'm just dreaming here. You know what I mean? But let's put something behind Boots to see what his fan base really is. He just had the biggest win of his career. Right, he should be known all over Philadelphia, definitely in his home, his neighborhood. Right, freaking. Do they have hockey? Yeah, Philadelphia Flyers. Is it the Flyers?
Oh yeah. Well, I haven't followed hockey in a hot minute, but that's the last team that I remember
that was there. Okay,
so yeah, if they're still there, I can look it up here real quick. But I'm almost certain they start. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a hockey team, they have a basketball team, and a football team. And some Phillies, the baseball. No.
Let me see here.
Not a baseball. Do they have Philadelphia have a baseball team?
Not Philadelphia. Pittsburgh. That's Pennsylvania. But
okay.
the state does. The state does.
Right, but not Philadelphia.
Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. No, you're right. The Phillies are baseball.
Oh, so it is the Phillies.
Oh yeah. The Phillies baseball, the Flyers hockey, the Eagles football. Is that what I'm missing? Oh, the 76ers in basketball.
76ers, yeah. See, they have hella, man.
Yeah.
Eddie has hella places he can try to make this thing a banger for Boots. And I've always thought the East Coast was a very good market for boxing. It just seems like there's a lot more East Coast fans than there are West Coast fans. So I think Boots would do fine out there. And yeah, it's a unification match. Whatchamacallit, Kelly's a good-looking kid, got a nice record, got a title himself. Why not try to go big on this? But then hopefully it's Boots that's driving the ticket sales. Don't make the tickets fucking $700 to get in the building. You know, that'd be nice. You know, you put a nice price range on the upper bowl tickets, and hopefully this thing could get done. But if I was Eddie, I would shoot big. I would try to make Boots possibly one of the faces. I don't know if he can become the face with the Zayas Josh Kelly back-to-back wins, but he would become one of them. Definitely become a superstar that night. So yeah, hopefully Eddie takes a little bit of that AJ money and invested into.
And I know one of the things that we brought up in regards to Joshua and Fury was the possibility of it being in New York, and New York being kind of a pretty popular travel location for UK fans, English fans, right? We talked about that. Philadelphia's on the East Coast too, so they don't have to go too much further, right?
Right.
So even for the English fans that would like to go to New York for, you know, if it does happen that way, that's a pretty popular location for them. Still same coast, you know, still the same coast. You just go a little bit south and boom, they're there in Philadelphia. So not too different of a location. It's not like they still have to fly across the United States to make it to a West Coast venue or anything like that. It's still on the east side of the United States. And it seems like, you know, maybe you can get some people come in and follow you. Some English fans be there in Philadelphia to support Josh Kelly. All right, so we got that one. one of the next topics is another fight that is kind of sort of already done, right? I mean, at least that's what we've seen. Emmanuel Navarrete and Oshaki Foster. It seems as though they have a date. We might have already mentioned it, the 24th of October, and they're thinking, they're saying San Antonio, Texas. No venue yet, but it seems as though that's the direction they're going to go, and most likely going to be on DAZN, right? Both these guys are under that banner. So we're going to get this fight. Another possible 3-belt unification, just like Kelly and Boots. But this one is slightly on the fence. According to what I've been reading, because Navarrete is both the IBF and WBO champ, and Oshaki is a WBC champ. This is at 130 pounds, of course, super featherweight. It seems as though, from what I'm understanding, the IBF is down for this fight, down to sanction it. The WBC is down to sanction it. The one that's kind of still on the fence is a WBO. I'm not sure if there's anything in particular that's holding up the situation as to why they're not agreeing to sanction it. I don't know if maybe there's some sort of mandatory that Navarrete hasn't fought, something along those lines. But as of right now, the WBO is the only belt that hasn't sanctioned this one. Hopefully we can get it done, and this can be, a 3-fight, unification. And then maybe afterwards, that's usually the way it works, right? The sanctioning bodies are like, all right, we'll give you that one, but as soon as you're done with that one, come back and fight your mandatory. I don't know if that's the case or not, but Andrew, all right, we already knew that the fight was going to take place in October in San Antonio, but what other reason could the WBO have to hold up sanctioning this fight other than that? Like, is there anything else that a sanctioning fee, has this ever happened before? I'm trying to think of another possible scenario that they're holding up, giving them the green light.
Yeah, the only thing that I can think of, drop my pen, hold on.
The only like talking, and I thought, like, oh, where'd he go?
Sorry. The only thing I can think of is the mandatory doesn't want to step aside money.
Maybe, damn. Okay.
Maybe the WBO don't want to go through all that court trouble if the young man has a case, right? So that's the only thing I could think of was why they would hold this fight up.
Bummer. And right now that you're mentioning it, I don't know.
Hey, but isn't it already on the schedule?
What?
The fight, isn't it already signed?
Yes, the fight is already signed, but I think it's just a matter of the WBO sanctioning it or not. So the fight may go through anyway, but it'll just be the IBF and WBC on the line and not the WBO belt, because these dudes want to do that. But I think everything else is still a go. The fight's going to happen. It's just with or without the WBO belt.
They would be smart to not pull out of this fight, the WBO. Last thing you want to do is create enemies in the landscape that we have right now in boxing. Don't give Zuffa or Turkey any ammo to be like, oh yeah, you see what they did there? You know what I mean? So they would be smart to just play ball, I guess it's the mandatory too. That's what's going on right now with you see Teo, you see Catterall.
Oh, and Jack Catterall, yeah.
You see he went at the WBA though. So he's asking for a explanation on why Teo's walking around the Ring magazine saying that he doesn't have to fight him. So we should get an answer on that one here shortly, too. Somebody lied to somebody.
Right. Exactly.
We don't know who, but we're going to find out.
As is often said, this is a pretty dirty sport sometimes, right? And unfortunately, people lie. And that's just how it is. And some people get screwed. And hopefully that's not something that happens here. But it'll suck if this is the direction they're going to go. We're trying to get towards unification, right? And an undisputed champion at 130 pounds. And the last thing we need is one of these sanctioning bodies to, as you said, give Zuffa more ammo and take their ball and go home and be like, no, fuck, I want you guys. And the thing is, they've done it before. You know what I'm saying? It's happened before. And that's the kind of shitty part. And it's happened before, and I think they didn't have anything to worry about because they know the guys would come back. Now we have guys like Zuffa to try to kind of point more shit into them. They're like, fuck, now it's going to be under a lot more scrutiny. Not to say that Zuffa's going to try to fix it because they don't give two fucks about it. But regardless, the point is they use it as ammo for their case, whatever their garbage ass case happens to be. But it would suck if this fight doesn't end up being for that WBO. So we know. We've watched that shift. What is it called? The purse bid, right? With what was who was it that they were doing the
Keyshawn.
shit? Oh, that's right, Keyshawn, and that's right, that shit, right? So that WBO, I know you guys are listening to, you guys are listeners, heavy listeners of our shows. By all means, let this happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the like what Andrew said, the mandatory is willing to take a certain amount of money, as long as, well, shit. Now I'm trying to think. Let's say, let's say the mandatory was lied to once before about it.
Yeah,
Let's say
yes.
that's very possible, huh?
It might be a Dillian White situation,
Oh,
right? Where he
boy.
had like 3 freaking elimination bouts.
Yeah.
Dillian White might have signed with Zuffa if Zuffa was around back then.
Right. He'd be like, I don't give a fuck what belt I play at this point.
Exactly.
Man. But we hope that's not the case. We hope, WBO comes through, especially with, Zuffa barking down their fucking neck, and we get the fight done. But anyway, still an excellent fight. If it doesn't happen with the belt, the fight itself will be pretty badass regardless.
I believe the winner of that fight is still the man of the division, with or without the WBO. The WBO would be smart to not take themselves out of that fight.
Yeah, very true.
They're the ones getting hurt. You know what I mean? Not the winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a very good point, because they're kind of leaving themselves out, really. And they're not going to play ball with everybody the way they are. They're the ones that are going to be, in the end, taking it in the ass, basically. What good does that do them? They're like, all right, cool. You face the mandatory, you strip him of the belt, and you give it to the the dude who's the next in line. And like, when we're not going to look at him as a legitimate champion. We're still going to look at Navarrete, or whoever wins between Navarrete and Shaki, as the dude in the weight class, and not the guy holding the WBO belt that they give the belt to.
Right.
Okay, so there's that. Another fight that was announced. This one was pretty interesting. It looks like, on the topic of mandatories, the WBC super welterweight champion Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno, has a title defense coming up. It looks like he's going to be putting his WBC belt on the line against a mandatory challenger. I hope I don't slaughter the name too much. Ermal is the first name, Ermal. I don't know if I even want to attempt the last name, but him. Hadribaj. Boy, I'm sure
was that one word, or was
that was one full word.
I thought him was his last name. I was like, that wasn't too hard.
No, Hadribaj. He's Albanian. He's Albanian, but first name is Ermal, Ermal. Or Ermal, I don't know. Maybe he's related to the Charlos. But yes, it looks like he's going to be fighting him, and it's going to take place on the 17th of October. As of right now, I don't think there's a specific city, state, venue, anything like that. But 17th of October, this is going to be another one of the DAZN TMT The Fight type of events that's going to be brought to you by PBC, or Premier Boxing Champions. Now,
what's the date on this one, Miguel?
The 17th of October. Okay. So this is going to be, as I mentioned, on the TMT, the fight type of thing, right? Now, I was talking to Andrew about this, and I'm kind of noticing a bit of a pattern with the very first the fight on TNT that was, I think, back in July, right? July 4th. That was primarily a top rank card. That it was top rank heavy, we can call it that, top rank centric, if you can say that. That was the July card. And then August, at the beginning of August, we had Cepeda and Roach that I'm not sure Roach's connection to PBC at this point, but it was primarily a Golden Boy and Top Rank. Top Rank was involved, but on the banner you see more some Golden Boy promotions, right? So that was Golden Boy's turn. In September, we're going to have another one of these The Fight type of cards on TNT that is going to be headlined by Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz just recently signed with Matchroom, so that's going to be Matchroom's turn. This one here in October seems as though it's going to be PBC's turn. So that seems to be the pattern that we're doing here. It's a Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, and PBC. They all get a chance to be on the TNT The Fight card, and maybe they'll start, again over the following month after that. But it looks like that seems to be the pattern. Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, and then PBC. So this will be PBC's turn to get this fight going on. Now, before we talk about that, I want to bring up his record. Now, I don't not that great with the names, right? So obviously I'm not going to try it again. But he's from Albania. All right. He is 32 years old, so definitely not a spring chicken. He's 5'10", so not that short, slightly above average, obviously compared to the 6'5" or 6'6" of Sebastian Fundora. He's still going to be substantially smaller. As a matter of fact, I think 5'10" is no, I think Tim Tszyu is an inch smaller. But anyway, 5'10", not a bad height. A record of 23 wins, no losses. So he's 23-0, has one draw, one no contest, and only 8 by KO. Now, I saw something else that I've pulled up on his Wikipedia, but before I get to that, Andrew, all right, we have this dude here, Ermal, I'm just going to call him by his first name, 5'10", 32 years old. He is also a southpaw, so we're going to get 2 southpaws here, 23-0, 8 KOs. How does that sound for an opponent for Fundora?
Sounds like a knockout for Fundora. I do not like the height of this man, and I do not like the power. The power being the biggest flaw that he has going against the 6'6" WBC champion and Sebastian Fundora. So look for Fundora to rain down combinations with no fear, and eventually that height and that range will get to Ermal, and he will be one knee on the canvas waiting for the count.
Damn. All right.
Me looking in, I see this as being stopped. 8 knockouts. Come on, bro. And these are all showcase fights, and you only have 8 knockouts. Because I looked at the record, I don't recognize any of the names, as legit contenders. So he's got very limited power against the weakest opposition out there. No way he handles the power of Fundora. Fundora has gotten so much better since we first seen this young man. If he's grown any since his last fight, he takes this guy out in 5.
All right. Brian, connection?
There you go. You're back.
Okay, cool. All right, back. All right. So I wanted to bring up another point that was that might be a moot point, might not matter, but the only man to knock out Fundora, Brian Mendoza, was also 5'10". So the height might not be too bad of a deal. Granted, Mendoza has a lot more knockouts on his record, and they even had him back then. And he is also orthodox, but not southpaw. So that's kind of a different story. But the guy who was able to reach Fundora was also 5'10". I mean, does that give him a little bit more of a chance?
No, because he only has 8 knockouts. And I'll also say what I just said. Fundora has grown since his last fight. He's definitely grown since the Mendoza fight. If we remember, isn't it the Mendoza fight that made him switch to being outside?
Right. Yeah, that thing, you're right.
Yeah, I want to say it was the Mendoza fight where he was like, all right, I just started listening to everyone and started fighting on the outside now. So,
all right.
We'll see.
One little tidbit of info that I thought was kind of, not funny and cool at the same time. In 2019, Ermal participated in 5 MMA fights. Oh shit! All right,
damn.
That's pretty. Famous decision. Every other fight he won, either by a head kick or 4-1 record MMA. That's kind of impressive. Granted, this was some years ago, but I suspect because of he's had this MMA experience, he might be the kind of guy that would bite. Fuck it, let's just throw down and roll the dice with somebody like trading, I should say. Kind of a unique thing I didn't notice. So this happens every so often with boxers that do participate in MMA fights, but when
of course he hung up. Well, he hung up. We knew what he was talking about, though. He'll get right back on. Yeah. So the guy's fought in some MMA. I don't know if that means he's going to bite down on his mouthpiece and go after Fundora. MMA and boxing, totally 2 different sports. especially when your opponent's 6'6" and has a 6'6" wingspan. So, look for Fundora to stay on the outside and rain down punches on this young man, and just stuff that he's probably never seen before. I highly doubt he fought a 6'6" MMA guy in his career. So I like Fundora to win that fight, but we can also add Fundora's name to the list of fighters that are on DAZN now. And that's a pretty good one. That's another champion that's going to be fighting on DAZN here. DAZN is gradually picking up the pace here on champions as Miguel now enters the chat room.
Oh boy, not sure. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
For some strange reason, my camera is just not on, and I don't know why. Let me try to unplug it and plug it back in real quick. But I don't know if you were able to catch what I was saying. Did you catch what I was saying before?
Yes, I responded. I told him basically that I'd seen that I understand he has an MMA career and that he might bite down on his mouthpiece and go after it. I just think they're two different sports. And one, I don't know if he's ever fought in someone who's 6'6" and as talented as Fundora. So I still see this being a wash of a fight. This is a showcase for Fundora, in my opinion, and it's a good one for DAZN. I was telling them, add Fundora's name to the list of fighters this year that have been on DAZN, and DAZN's not doing too bad. They're really not. They're trying at least.
Yeah, good point. I'm speaking of trying, I'm in the process of trying to get my camera back on because for some fucking reason it's not. I'm unplugging it and unplugging it. But as long as you guys can hear me, I think that's the important part.
That's like funny. You're like a ghost, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? Kind of like you were a few moments ago when you ducked down grabbing your pen. Yeah. Let me see if I can.
That's what you did. I thought you were doing something else, just not on the screen.
No. But yeah. So did you? I'm not sure if you were able to touch on it, but did you notice the pattern, right? The pattern of everybody taking a turn. Like every month, every promoter has a chance, and we kind of thought that this was going to be the case, right? At the very beginning, when they were going to basically have all the promoters under one banner and DAZN, that they were all going to get their chance at being, at the calendar, basically. And this is kind of what they're doing, right? With TNT, every promoter is kind of having a chance to showcase their guys on TNT. And this happens to be PBC's turn. So we saw recently what happened with PBC and some of the fights that were on the undercard of the Tim Zhu and Spence that unfortunately didn't actually go through with, specifically with Fulton and Charlo. Hopefully that doesn't happen here, right, Andrew? Because you only have so many cracks. If PBC fucks up by not having a good card for this the fight kind of thing, I'm not sure if they'll have as many chances on the calendar as the promoters.
And that matters on how many fights. I've seen on DAZN they're saying they need 85 boxing matches a year or something like that. So it might not matter what the content is as long as they have content to put out there. I think the PBC will get their shot. And you also got to remember the fight that's in talks right now, Zhu versus Charlo, will also be on DAZN by the end of the year. So definitely DAZN is picking up the pace here. DAZN's picking up the pace so much, it's almost as if we don't need another investor. Yes, the boxers probably want another investor, but does DAZN? Seems like they're doing fine right now on their own, dude. I don't move an inch if I'm Eddie Hearn. If I'm DAZN, I tell Eddie to stay the fuck where he's at. Give him an under the table deal. You do this for us, we'll make it worth it in the future. And if I'm Eddie, I'm staying hard on the AJ's fighting in the UK. We're not going to America. DAZN looks like they have something here, Miguel. They really do. I'm glad we did this list tonight. I really am, because it was feeling like it wasn't worth it for a while. You're back.
Yeah, I was listening and trying to get the things back up. I thought maybe plugging and unplugging the camera. No, I had to go into the settings, but I got it. I'm back.
All right. So yeah, dude, I feel a lot better about DAZN right now, where they're at and where they're going, because we're not even done at the end of the year, and they have had some pretty good fights on for the fight fans. Because once again, fight fans know all the fighters. They don't just know Conor Ben and Ryan and AJ and Fury, right? And they've had some very good fights on their telecast or their platform already, and still more to come. So yeah, I'm definitely on board with DAZN right now.
All right, cool. All right, so anything else you want to add to that one before we move on to the last topic of the show here?
No, sir.
All right. So this one, this one's kind of a funny one. Yeah, right. So Andrew sent this one to me. It's basically a commercial. Quite frankly, is essentially what it is, an ad, right? As social media tends to be, advertise yourself. From one Floyd Mayweather Jr. Advertising the TMT Legal Network. It's basically a team of lawyers. I suppose that's what it is. It says, visit the TMT legal team for a free case review. He talks about no fees until you get paid, 50-0. Trust me, I don't win, I don't lose. And it's the moneyteam.legal is the name, or specifically the website. But there seems to be some sort of law firm or some sort of law representation that Floyd Mayweather is getting into. We joked back when we saw a commercial of his advertising some windows in England or somewhere. I forget where it was specifically, but if you go to his Instagram account, you'll see it there. He says 50-0, never lost, never will. Now I'm bringing the same energy to your corner. Introducing the Money Team Legal Network. Championship level lawyers fighting real cases for multi-million-dollar settlements. No fees until you get paid. You got hurt, we got you. Free case review at the Money Team Legal at the moneyteam.legal. That's the website. Okay, so this seems to be, according to this here, it says, you got hurt, well, we got you. I don't know if this is all sorts of legal representation or specifically injury, car accidents, workers' comp, right? Something along those lines. That's kind of what it seems, at least. But I joked with Andrew. I said, I hope these aren't the lawyers that told him it was a good idea to sign that contract with Al Heyman, because clearly I don't think he knows what the fuck he's doing. And these people, there's always a joke about lawyers and being the bloodthirsty guys that they are. They will throw anybody into the bus if it makes them a buck. But Andrew, you sent this to me. I thought it was funny as shit. Oh man, yet another indication of the downward spiral of one Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I mean, Floyd really needs to get off that 50-0 thing. He's been losing everything in real life. And that's what people are dealing with when they're looking for lawyers, right? Real life situations. And in that side of the coin, Mayweather has not done good at all. He's lost cars, houses, businesses, family members, girlfriends. I mean, bro, you've taken L's almost in every aspect of life except the ring, right? So don't know if I'm really looking at your legal team. We've seen he was robbed by, from his words, they keep calling them Jewish finance guys, but his finance team robbed him. Showtime robbed him, right?
Stephen Espinoza.
Al Heyman put his money in places that he didn't get a kickback from. Come on, Miguel. There you are. Boom.
Okay.
So is this how he's paying his lawyer fees?
By advertising for them?
You know what I mean?
Bro,
it can't. There's something else going on. Floyd didn't put together a lawyer office. He didn't go, how do I invest my money? Let's start a fucking lawyer company or however you want to.
A law firm.
Law firm. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's probably it right there. Very good. Law firm. I don't think he did that. I think he went to someone. He was like, damn, that's a lot of money. Is there anything else we can do? And he's like, hey, well, why don't you put your name behind my company? Get us some clientele, and every clientele you take will take some money off of what you owe us. I'm just throwing shit at the wall, but I mean, like, I would really love to see the lawyers that he has in his law firm. where they come from, where they got the degrees from. Oh, it'd be funny if it's all internet. It's all paid by Floyd Mayweather and some internet fucking certificates, dude. Wouldn't be surprised. It would just be funny.
The first comment under this post, it says N-word or ninja. We'll use that word.
Yeah, that's what they say, ninja.
Can't even read a Harry Potter book, and now he's marketing legal matters.
Damn.
Oh,
damn.
Already. Take the 8 count, Floyd.
See what I said about taking L's all over the place?
Yep.
Fuck, even in the comment section.
I'm going to read some more because they're awesome. Looks like it could be a scam. He probably needs the service more than the rest. Well, 50 want to go crazy with this one? He's really gone broke. Should have kissed the wall, buddy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is it just keeps going worse and worse. Dude, the money. One said this got to be AI. That's how that is. It's like homie just trying to hold the dollar. Oh boy. Yeah. So unfortunately, this is the direction he's gonna go. One said in quotes, "Better call Floyd," like that Better Call Saul, show. Oh man, and I don't. Does Floyd need glasses, Andrew? Do you know if he needs glasses to read? Because he puts them on for this promo. I don't know if they're legit glasses. I don't know if he really needs them or not. He's up there in age, so maybe he legitimately needs them. But I don't remember seeing him before in glasses. I could be wrong. He has himself a white turtleneck with a nice blazer over it with some specs. Does he need glasses or am I tripping?
I think you're wrong and you're right.
Okay.
I think those aren't real glasses. Oh no! I think those are real glasses because of his age, bro. Because I might be fearing the next time I have to go get my driver's license eye test.
Oh
yeah, 46, dude. And Floyd's a little older than me. Sometimes I'm driving and I'll shut an eye just to see if I can read a sign further down the road.
While you're driving, while your foot's on the accelerator.
I think that's safety first, bro.
You could have at least said, "While I'm at a stoplight," and not actively accelerating, flooring it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna close my eyes to see if that is really a red light that's coming up ahead while I continue to floor it. But I have never seen him with that before. But maybe he does need some, and he needed to look smarter for this specific ad. But oh man, I would not be surprised if what you said is true, Andrew. That he's basically finding another way to pay off these fucking lawyers.
And remember, Floyd was big at doing these commercials in the UK. Remember, Lee used to talk about it. Lee was the first. I don't know if he was the first one, but he was the one that seen him. What was he selling in the UK? He was doing those late night.
The one that I remember was Windows. That's the only one that I remember.
Yeah, and so now he's in America selling shit. That's where we're at. He finally had to come to America with it, because a lot of guys in America didn't know Floyd had to do commercials out of the country, right? Maybe that's how. Hey, look, I know he was walking around the other day with a bag full of money, which is so pathetic at his age. And with the money that he had, no one cares that you have 50 grand in your bag to throw at strippers, dude. You had 750 million. Right? No one cares about your 100,000 when you were almost a damn billionaire, bro. Did you see that? He finally came out the house with the bag of money.
He had a. I saw the picture of him with the wad in his hand with the big old fucking stack in his hand.
Yeah. I seen the one I seen. He's stacking it on the table. He's doing the old Floyd thing. He looks. I'm not gonna say he looks so old. But he sort of does, right? Because we've been watching him do that for so long. It's like, dude, it's almost like Ryan on that Cobra bag. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. You know what I mean? Like you could only go back to that every, once in a while, or for so many times, dude. Yeah. Floyd, your whole bringing cash out of there. We get it, dude. You're rich, but obviously you're losing shit, dude, because it's all over the fucking internet and you ain't sued anybody. You ain't even won a lawsuit, to be honest with you. I don't want any part of your legal team. It seems like everybody's getting wins against you in the courthouse. So Floyd, man, unfortunately, I do believe he's coming back for $1 million one day, and he will be a security guard at one of the casinos for a dying casino owner. He'll be holding the doors open for him, and he'll be saying, "This guy, when he was in his prime."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm starting to kind of have a flashback of those window commercials. Wasn't there a time, and this might have been a lot more recent than the actual commercials, but I just thought it was funny coincidence. Wasn't there? Who was it that was like protesting outside of? Was it one of his gyms or what's something that?
Yeah.
What was it specifically?
They weren't paying the bills, right? So they sent some guy to do a video about it.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. The dude does it to everyone. You can like hire him, and he'll go to whatever. It's out there in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that did happen to him the other day. The Money Team Gym or whatever. They came out and were like trying to get him to go away.
I thought it had something to do with Windows, but it didn't. But I just thought it was funny that now he's going in this direction. Boy. All right. Well, I figured I'd throw that one in there, but just because I thought it was kind of funny that yet another indication. And it's funny when you're talking about how his age is a factor now, right? When he was younger and pulled out the wad of the stack of cash, it was still kind of cool. It's like, oh, fuck, this motherfucker's got some money, right? And it's obvious that he's trying to show you that he has money. That's a different story when you're younger. Now, when you're older and everybody hears all these stories about you fucking losing money, and you're still trying to make the case like, no, I still have money. Look, guys, I still have money. Going a little overboard to try to prove to everybody they have however much money he happened to have in his hand at that moment. But it's starting to look bad now that his age really.
Well, let's think about it. How is Adrian Broner and him looking today with all that money they threw away in their careers? How are they doing right now? You know what I mean? Bad. Let's look at another guy who's done nothing but flaunt money all over the internet, and now supposedly he's in the courtroom saying it was all fake. You heard about Andrew Tate and his brother?
I've heard about them, about the charges that were brought on them.
Yeah. So they're trying to go for bail right now. And I guess it was either what it was set at, or the judge said no because you're millionaires. Well, now they're saying how everything was fake. The Bugattis were rented. The boat, I guess someone asked them to do a video on their boat because they wanted it to go viral, right? So, I mean, the shit's just all phony on the internet.
Yeah.
Floyd, fucking running around his little private jets and all this shit, acting like he was some king. Adrian Broner wiping his ass with money, right? Throwing it in the toilet. How you guys looking today, right?
All right.
I don't know how Tate's going to come back from what they disclosed in the courtroom. I really don't, because you can't lie under oath. So everything you say on the internet is probably going to be a lie. But we all know what you said under oath in that courtroom, and you said it was all fake. That you guys are really broke and live week to week. Like, are you fucking serious, right? Because look, bro, that means the dude was totally fake. Because look. I always thought Tate was douchey.
Yeah, he is douchey.
Yeah, but he kind of grew on me right before that kickboxing match. I was like, fuck it. The guy's full of himself, right? But he is what he is. Then I watched that kickboxing fight that he had. Who did he fight, bro, where he got his ass kicked?
Yeah.
Who did he fight?
I forgot who it was, but it was another reality star. No, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And he fucking beat Tate didn't even look like a fighter, though, Miguel. Yeah. Like, it was really weird. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute right now. Like this, I think I could take this guy. And that's sad because you're supposed to be some fucking buff ass athletic ex-kickboxer, dude. A normal person shouldn't be walking around thinking they could take you. But he seemed fake that night. Remember Dead Tired? Oh, it was a celebrity star. Yeah, it was from LA, fucking ex-model or some shit. Oh, that shit was so whack, bro. And then, dude, if you ever watch that guy's fight, that dude was a total job too. He really was, but he won that night. He fucking handled Tate. So phony. Now you look at Mayweather. How much is this shit's phony, man? How many of those watches do you still have, or have you sold back to the jewelers already, or gave them back because you never really even fucking paid for them? And they're like, we're either suing you or you give us our shit back. The house in Miami. The cars in Miami, you know what I'm saying? He said they're all gone. I think that in LA, the mansion in LA is gone. Like, just leave us alone with your fucking videos of your cash, dude. Save your fucking money. Like how that Dean the Great's trying to save Adrian Broner. Floyd Mayweather needs him a little Dean the Great right now to be running around and going, bro, stop. Just stop. You know what I mean? It's not fucking cool anymore. We will see. Yeah. That is the update. There's still no update that Floyd has an opponent, that Floyd's gonna fight Manny. I think his price is too high. He's got to come lower.
Well, he still has to do the Tyson one, right? That's still that he's got to do that one. I don't know what the price will be on that one.
I don't know what they're gonna. Dude, that's got to be $1 million for both. Yeah, and they're splitting it. I can't see how Tyson and him are gonna demand any kind of anyone who buys a Mike Tyson fight today or tomorrow, you're an idiot. It's not Tyson's fault. You're the idiot. I'll flat out say it, bro. We have went to that well too many times, and Mike has fucking failed us. That Jake Paul he failed us. All of his comeback fights, he failed us. Like, there's been so many times we were like, yeah, Mike versus Roy Jones was a garbage. I mean, like, dude, if you guys keep buying into Mike Tyson, that's on you, man. But I will have no part of Tyson versus fucking Floyd. I don't give a shit. If that thing was free on my television, I will find something to do that day, Miguel. I'm not watching a total fixed fight. You really think Mike Tyson? Oh, you know what? I guess Mike didn't like Floyd back in the day. Remember that? They had their little beef.
Oh, that's right. They did. Yeah, it was very brief. I remember that. Yeah.
So to sell it, maybe Mike comes out and rekindles that beef, right? I'm gonna hit this fucking guy. Yeah, they can get a few views off of Mike Tyson acting like he really doesn't like Floyd. But besides that, come on, a garbage fight. Garbage. Floyd would do so much better if he just struck a fucking deal. And I don't know his injuries, but if he just struck a 3-fight deal where you make more money after each win, you're right. Like, I'm Floyd fucking Mayweather, dude. Pay me little money on my first fight, but if I win that, you're going to fucking triple it. If I win the next one, you're going to fucking times it by 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think someone would work with them because, of course, Floyd, as long as you're winning, he's going to get up 100 million views. Could you imagine Floyd's comeback on a Netflix platform? I got to think it'd be big. And imagine if he won and it was lining him up to a Crawford or a Ryan Garcia fight. You're telling me that thing wouldn't be huge, but he would have to win. I'm not talking about coming out the gate and just doing it. I'm talking about sitting down with Turkey and having Zuffa give you a 3-fight game plan that's going to make you $250 million on the third win if you get there. Then Floyd's back, but he'll have to win, right? So he was stupid.
Did he miss his chance?
Oh, he hella missed his chance.
Now that Turkey, is pulling back on the money, partially because there's been no return and partially because his own health issues. But that's kind of seems to be slowly fading. There goes his chance, right? That was his chance.
Yes, and then that's where DAZN steps in, where DAZN should make right what they didn't do the first time correct. And that was not signing Floyd Mayweather's last 5 fights. They went and signed Canelo and AJ. And both of them did not work out. Canelo does fine. He makes his own money. But for the DAZN platform, it did not work out the money they paid him. And AJ was just a total fucking disaster in the beginning. Hopefully, with this career that he's kind of given to DAZN, he's made them some money. But when they first gave him, $300 and something million, and you lose like your first fight on the contract to a guy who was fucking not even ranked top 10 and was like 400 pounds. I know he wasn't, but he looks it. That's a bad look. You know what I mean? It's a bad look. And DAZN should have signed Floyd to them. DAZN would have had Floyd McGregor, dude. Yeah. They would have had that on their fucking thing. They would have signed him back then. Maybe they look at their budget and see, is there a way we can get Floyd for 3 last fights and do the thing that I'm saying? Start him off slow and work him up. Now, DAZN obviously isn't the same platform in America that Netflix is, but they're not bad numbers either. Last time I checked, I believe they're doing better than Paramount, right? Paramount was like at 20 something million. They're saying they have 70 million worldwide.
Globally. All right.
Globally. So that would, then maybe they can start showing their numbers, international numbers, right? Look, Floyd's fight last night was #1 in every fucking country DAZN's in, or some shit like that, and start building Floyd back up. Start him off slow. If I'm Floyd, dude, that's all you got left, and get Manny Pacquiao rematch out of your fucking head. I'm gunning more for either Ryan Garcia or freaking, fucking Terrence Crawford, maybe. We always said that fight because Terrence is not a spring chicken himself, dude.
Sure.
He's kind of old too. You know what I mean? Took a layoff. Excellent fight if them two were to come back and try to build one, not right off the top, but build it. I think Floyd has about this much time left, dude.
Still at the age of 50, still that much time left?
If they start him off slow. Remember, Bernard Hopkins was doing it at a very late age. Everyone was still watching him. Everyone thought he was the man. If Floyd came back and got a victory right off the top and looked chiseled, looked like the old Floyd, at least physique-wise, I believe he has somewhat of a... It won't be nearly what he would have been making if he never would have left, but at least he'll be in the 100 millions by the end of it again. That's all I can give him.
All right.
How about this?
Yes.
Sorry. If I'm Netflix, I would probably look into Floyd. You put Floyd on Netflix, dude, who has 300 million subscribers. Yeah, I think you knock it out the fucking park.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that? I just happened to be going through my Facebook feed, and a quick little update popped up on something. I figured I'd throw this one in before we call it a show.
Okay.
Per Dan Rafael, whatever. Golden Boy will have Jose Ramirez versus Alexis Rocha on one of the prelims for Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Possible future opponent for any one of these motherfuckers, or maybe a replacement in the event that somebody doesn't make weight. These guys are going to be on the same card. Jose Ramirez, Alexis Rocha.
Damn, you hit one out the park. That's 2 weeks in a fucking row, dog. Because Miguel was like, prelims? Why would that be prelims? And then Miguel's light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh shit. If they needed to pull someone off, you don't want to pull them off the undercard. But the prelims, fuck those guys. Snip.
Yeah.
Rocha, you're gone. Jose Ramirez, you're fighting. It won't be Rocha. Sorry. It's going to probably be Ramirez. He has the better name. Damn, dude. Yes. That definitely might be your plan B. Man, you guys, I'm telling you, you get too many gems off this fucking show, dude. I'm telling you that right now, man. That's a good call, dude. Because, bro, right off the top, when you said that, I was like, why isn't that on the undercard? That's immediately, just like when you said Floyd Mayweather's lawyers, I thought scam, just like that comment. That was the first thing that came to my head. I was like, oh, this is a scam. When you said that one, first thing came to my hand, why prelims? Oh, because they're going to be the fill-in if Conor don't make weight. Fuck yeah, they are. Fuck yeah, they are. Mexican Independence Weekend, still going. Still going.
Either one of these guys that fits in, right?
Yep.
I mean,
throw
both
the
Latinos.
flag. Get that flag on you. Get your ass out there.
Here, wear these shorts. Like, I was going to wear these USA flag. No, don't wear these. Wear these instead. Just toss these real fast. All right, I'll put them on. Oh, boy. So,
damn, that's a good one to end the show, Miguel.
Yeah,
fuck.
right.
Hey, might as well say, might as well ask, who's the better fill-in, Rocha or Ramirez? Oh, man.
I low key, I kind of think that Alexis is going to get the nod. He's been kind of, struggling a little bit. Yeah. At some point, Jose Ramirez got Devin Haney, right? So there was his, right? That's sort of Alexis Rocha hasn't gotten his crack yet. Then they're going to be like, here you go. We'll give you the pass.
And he does have somewhat of a decent fan base out there in Southern California. They'd make the drive. Maybe. Great call, bro. That might be your plan B right there to save that weekend if Conor does not make it. Yes, sir.
Damn. All right. Well, that does conclude the topics we want to talk about. I know I just went through my feed here, but Andrew, anything else you want to add to this before we call it a show?
Oh, no. That's it for tonight.
All right. What a way to cap it off.
Yeah, that was a good one, dude.
So, as I mentioned, there's some fights this weekend, right? So make sure to check them out. ESPN Plus and DAZN pay-per-view. If you happen to have the DAZN subscription, you don't have to, order the pay-per-view. But we'll be back Sunday as we normally are to talk about the fights that took place this weekend and any other information we have, even if it is any new info regarding, AJ Fury or anybody else for that matter. So until then, for my co-host Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Peace.